Good morning, sir.
Fine. In last class, we have discussed till go back and ARQ, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, today we have to discuss about go back and sliding window. This is the last topic which I have not covered, as I remember. Is it correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Look, just go back. In this case, stop and wait ARQ. If sender will send data and maybe in this case, data will be lost or acknowledgement will be lost. Then after a fixed time, data or acknowledgement will be resent. But in this kind of activity or transmission, there is some delay. And delay is not acceptable. Is there any possibility in which we can transfer data without waiting for the acknowledgement? Okay, fine, acknowledgement will come. We can send one data, second data, two data, three data. And finally, we will check that sender has received all acknowledgements or not. For this point of view, next technique, go back and ARQ was introduced. In this case, sliding window concept is used. Sliding window. First of all, window. Window means just window. Our window is critical. But this is a sliding window. Now in these days, we are using sliding window in our house. Means just slide it, window is open. Again slide it, window is closed. Slide means sliding, shifting. In sliding window, we can take multiple data at a time for transmission. In this diagram picture, sliding window, see this, sliding window has 4 data capacity, 4 data packet frame capacity. Just see this graph transmission. Suppose in first window, if there are 4 window, sorry, 4 data packet size is of one window. In that case, suppose if we are taking data 0, data 1, data 2, data 3, 4 data can be existed in a window. I have transmitted, suppose sender has transmitted 0, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 transmission done at a time. Now, now sender tries to send next window, means 4, 5, 6, 7. Correct? 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 transmitted, and at this time it has got information about 0, acknowledgement received. At the time of transmission of 5th data, got acknowledgement of data 1, but in during the next transmission, means information that acknowledgement failed or any instance occur. Then it will stop transmitting data and it will again start its window from data packet data frame 2. Means window will be started from the failure point. And now in this diagram, the failure point is the data 2. That's why now see this sliding window 2, 3, 4, 5. These data will be transmitted. It is more faster than the go back and the stop and wait hierarchy. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
It is faster than the stop and wait hierarchy. We can transmit multiple data at a time. We will repeat the slide if any failure occur. But next technology, developers thought that why should we transmit data from the failure point? Like in this case, from 2, data will be transmitted again. No, yeah, only 2 is failed. 3 is successful. Then the next technology is selective repeat ARK. Selective repeat ARK. Now see that. In selective repeat ARQ, only those data packets are retransmitted which are failed. Maybe data loss, maybe acknowledgement loss. Fine. See. Frame 0 transmitted. Frame 1 transmitted. Acknowledgement received 2. Then frame 2 transmitted. Frame 0, frame 1 transmitted. Then frame 2 transmitted. Now at this time frame 2 lost. It's okay. Frame 3 will be transmitted. But at the time of transmission of frame 3, it has got information that, okay, frame 2 lost. Fine. Then only frame 2 will be transmitted, retransmitted. That's why selective repeat ARQ is better than this sliding. So we have seen that how error is corrected at data link level. We have started from simplest transmission, in which we have talked about noiseless channel, means that kind of path which has no any problem. There is no data loss, but this is not possible. Fine. Then we have used a stop and wait ARQ for confirmation of successful transmission. I'm just summarizing. Then we have used a stop and wait ARQ. If there is a failure of data, then data should be transmitted again. But in this case, there is too much delay. That's why we have used go back and ARQ. In this case, we have used sliding window concept. But in this concept, we have seen that we retransmit all data from the failure point. Again, this may be this is a problem. So finally, next selective repeat ARQ used, in which only failure data or acknowledgement is retransmitted. Okay. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Fine. Now see, one more technique. That technique is also used for error correction, and this technique is popularly known as piggybacking. We have heard name piggy bank, gullak. But what is piggyback? Look, piggybacking technology is actually used in case of wireless connection. When you provide connection with the help of an access point, or generally it is known as router, which has 2, 3, 4 antenna. What is done in case of piggybacking transmission? Now see, piggybacking is actually a bidirectional process. For example, sender has sent a data and now it will be the responsibility of receiver to send acknowledgement. In previous cases, acknowledgement is sent separately. Data is sent separately, acknowledgement is sent separately. It means the whole bandwidth is used for data transmission or acknowledgement transmission. In piggybacking technique, if receiver has to send acknowledgement to the sender, But at the same time, if receiver has to send some data to the receiver also, it can combine these two things. Okay, fine. This one is my acknowledgement. I'm giving this acknowledgement for your transmitted data. And this is my data also. Fine. Two things are combined together. And then it is transmitted to sender. This is the case by which we can utilize maximum bandwidth of our link. It's very good. It is better than all previous techniques. But actually, I have heard these things during your cyber security and blockchain workshop. Some expert was telling, in case of wireless technology, there is a maximum chance of hacking. Why? Because it works on piggyback. If data can be attached with acknowledgement, then malicious data can also be attached with acknowledgement.
Sir, malicious data.
Malicious means wrong data. And this data will be easily accepted by the receiver. Because this is a technique. Yes.
Means this technology is not secure, sir.
Yes, that's why wireless technology is not secure. For error correction, for full utilization of bandwidth, this technology is good. But every technology has a negative point also. In case of piggyback, it mostly occurs. Hackers tries to attach wrong data with acknowledgement. If receiver receives it, definitely it will receive. Because acknowledgement shows that my source, destination, every address is correct. So overall, see, this one is an interesting point. That's why I have discussed here. But in case of piggybacking, data and acknowledgement both can be transmitted at a time. Now we have studied multiple points, multiple techniques that are used for successful transmission of data, for correction of errors. This is a very strong point of data link. Fine. Now one more thing. At data link layer, physical addressing is done. And you all have studied about it. Physical address means MAC address, hardware address. Is there any doubt?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Anybody has any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. These are few important points about data link layer. Now, next layer is network layer. Before going to network layer, can you all suggest me what is the function of network layer?
Network layer is responsible for data responsible for source to destination, to transmission of data packet.
Fine. Means first one. Sorry. First point is source to destination
Sir, intranet
delivery
network.
of
Sir,
data.
intranetworking, sir.
Second, internetworking.
Yes, sir. Routing, sir.
Third, routing.
Deliver of packet host to host.
Sir, addressing, sir.
Addressing. Which address? Logical addressing
Yes, sir.
means IP address. Fourth point is packet formation. Is it okay? All these are functions of network.
Network layer.
Fine. Now, as I think your concept of source to destination delivery of data is clear. Look, just I'm going to my notes. Now see few important points related to network layer. First is logical addressing means IPv4, IPv6. Second thing is transition between IPv4 and IPv6. Third point is NAT. Fourth point is NATing. Sixth point is I formation. Fine. We will discuss all these things.
Sir, please repeat again 6 point.
6th point, IP routing. You all have studied about it in your CCNA paper. Most of the part of network layer have been already covered in this paper. I have just to introduce all these things. If you will have any doubt, you can ask to me later. You are free to ask. Now, logical address is attached with the data frames. Why I'm talking about data frames? Because first of all, we have studied about physical layer, then data link layer. In this sequence, the next layer is network layer. Means data is coming from physical to data link to network. Means now data is coming from data link layer. That's why data form is frame. When a frame comes to network layer, then logical address is attached with data frames, and now it becomes packet. And this packet is known as IP packet. Getting my point? That's why our data that is known as frame at data link layer now and in this packet, just a minute, I'm getting a call from my office. Sorry. Yes. Now fine. IP address is attached with data frames. That's why its format is known as data packet or simply packet. Now this packet is transmitted from one network to another. That's why just a minute. Sir. So I'm just coming. Actually, there is a problem in a batch. I have to just inform.
सर अभी यही बोले थे ना IP address is attached with framework, that's why this is known as data packet. Hello.
Yes, yes. Data attached in IP.
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. Now, data packet is transferred from one network to another network. Why am I saying these words? Because communication between two or more different networks is done with the help of router, and router transfers data packet, means IP packet, from one network to another network. Fine. That's why At network layer, we study about a point that a network layer is responsible for source to destination delivery of data. Fine. And in case of IP routing, we have seen all these things. We have created routing table. And in case of routing table, we have just mentioned network IP address. Have we mentioned it? Hello, hello. Nobody is
Yes, sir.
responding. We have done
Yes,
all
sir.
these things with practicals.
Yes, sir.
Fine. And if we are connecting two or more different networks with the help of router itself a network layer device, the whole process is known as internet. I have given you definition also. In internet networking, communication between two or more different network is known as internet. I have used a word also. A communication between two or more different networks that are based on different subnet of IP is known as internet networking. Isn't it?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please, I will say.
Sir, what is IPX?
IP, what is IP?
IPX.
IP8. 8.
Yes, sir. What is IPX?
Can you spell it?
IPX.
IPX.
Yes, sir.
IPX is a protocol. IPX is a protocol that are used at data link layer. Sorry, not a data link, a network layer. And IPX is especially supported by macOS. We will discuss this protocol. Yes. IPX has also a very good concept. But you people are still facing problem in understanding IPv4 and IPv6.
Sir, it is sir, इसके तरह एक और है जो
No, don't use Hindi. Use only English. I'm able to understand. Yes, please.
Sir, what is Apple? Apple Talk.
Apple Talk. Again, you are talking about a protocol. IP, IPX, Apple Talk. All these three are protocols of network layer. Fine, but these are protocols. We are just talking about the process of network layer. Fine. There is a load setting. Fine. Now, come to the next. Fine. Now, Source to destination delivery of data, IP packet, logical addressing, internetworking. I have cleared these points. Now, IP routing. What is IP routing? IP routing is a process in which a routing table is formed, and this routing table keeps information about best route for transmission of data from source to destination. IP routing we have done, and in IP routing we have used static routing, static default routing, and dynamic routing. In static routing, manual process is used. Manually, we enter route information into the routing table. In case of a static default, we use single route at the terminal router for connectivity to all destination network. But this is also a manual process. And in case of dynamic routing, we use routing protocols and these routing protocols are responsible for formation of routing table to make entries into the routing table, best route entries. Fine. And these protocols are just, I have written some example. RIP, RIP, we have studied about RIP version 2, EIGRP, enhanced interior gateway routing protocol, OSPF, open shortest path first, BGP, border gateway protocol, ISIS, intermediate system. Fine. Now, detail about these topics. Logical address, we have already covered it. And there are two versions, IPv4 and IPv6. Fine. Is it okay? IPv4, we have already studied it in N+ also, in CCNA also. Class A, B, C, D, E. Then reserved IP address, private IP address, public IP address, all these are very important for this paper also. Fine. So please go through the previous concept which you all have taken in your N+ paper and CCNA paper. With the help of all those things, we will cover this network layer. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm going to stop this session, today's session. See, I'm just scrolling down. Now, one more thing is proxy server. I will discuss these things in depth. Then IPv6, I have already taught you. IP packets and transition. Transition is also very interesting. Address mapping, VLAN concept. Yeah, I have taught you. IP routing, then transport layer. Fine. You all were worried about your syllabus, how we will cover it. So don't worry. Okay.